Hi, very good afternoon to all. My name is Bhavana and our subject is Business Economics. This is for BBA students for first year in first semester. In this previous lecture, we discuss what is the demand and assumptions to the law of demand, and there are some exceptions to the law of demand. Today we are discussing elasticity of the demand, and in elasticity of demand there are different types. We can discuss everything in a brief way. Let's see here. Elasticity of demand. What is the elasticity of demand? Law of demand simply explains the inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. Law of demand explains the relationship between the price and quantity demanded. It does not specify how much more is purchased when the price falls, how much less is purchased when the price rises. The law of demand only says that the relationship between price and quantity demand. If the price increases, the quantity demand decreases. If the price decreases, the quantity demand increases. But it does not say how much. If the price is increased by 5 to 10 rupees and the quantity demand is decreased by 10 to 8 rupees, it does not say the quantity, but elasticity of demand says how much it affects due to change in price and quantity demanded. In order to understand the rate of change in price and consequent change in demand, then the elasticity of demand concept is used. Where the demand of elasticity of concept, elasticity means changes in prices due to change in quantity. How much? It says in quantities. The law of demand only says that there is an inverse relationship between the price and quantity demand, but elasticity says how much. It says in like exact number. It says, we can say it is an elasticity of demand. The law of demand simply explains the inverse relationship between the price and quantity demand. It simply explains the relationship between the price and quantity demand. It does not specify how much more is purchased when the price falls, how much less is purchased when price rises. It does not say this information. In order to understand the rate of change in price and consequent changes demand, the elasticity of demand concept is used. For this, the elasticity of demand concept is used. Let's see here. Meaning of elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand is the responsiveness of demand from a commodity to change in its determinants. What is the meaning of elasticity of demand? Elasticity of demand is the responsiveness of demand for a commodity to change in its determinants. What are the demand determinants? They are supplementary goods, substitutes, complementary goods, states and preferences. These are the demand determinants. For these demand determinants, how much there is a change in demand, it describes. You can say there is an elasticity of demand. Next, elasticity of demand is equal to percentage change in quantity demand of a commodity. How much percentage change divided by percentage change in price. Means how much percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in price. You can say it is an elasticity of demand. Definition of elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand may be defined as the percentage change in quantity demand by percentage change in the price. How much percentage change divided by how much percentage change in price. There are different types of elasticity of demand. There are 4 types of elasticity of demand. That is price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, cross elasticity of demand, and advertisement elasticity of demand. First, what is the definition of elasticity of demand? Elasticity of demand may be defined as the percentage change in quantity. How much change in quantity demanded by percentage change in the price. Percentage change in quantity divided by the percentage change in price. There are 4 types of elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand, income elasticity of demand, cross elasticity of demand, and advertisement elasticity of demand. First, what is the price elasticity of demand? It means the ratio of percentage change in quantity demand of a commodity due to percentage change in price. Why is the demand changes due to change in price? So, for change in price, there is any change in quantity demanded, we can say price elasticity of demand. Say, if there is any change in price, further change in price, there is any change in quantity demanded. So, we can say for change in price only, the demand of the particular quantity changes. So, we can say it is the price elasticity of demand. Let's see here. Percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. How to calculate percentage change in quantity demand? Let's see here. Change in quantity. Suppose, for example, there quantity. In before, we suppose there is a change in 50. Original quantity how much? 100. So 50 by 100 by before price, suppose 1000. Change in quantity 1000. Before price 5000. So 50 divided by 100, that divided by 1000 divided by 5000. Means percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change. Percentage change in quantity demand, how to calculate? How much change in percentage divided by original? How much original? Same, change in price by original price. So what is the price elasticity of demand? If there is any change in price, for that price the quantity demanded changes. So we can say there is a price elasticity of demand. Due to price, that there is a change in quantity demanded. So percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. So change in quantity demanded by original quantity, that is change in price by original price. In price elasticity there are different types. Types of price elasticity of demand: perfectly elastic, perfectly inelastic, relatively inelastic, and unit elastic. In price elasticity there are 5 types: perfectly elastic, perfectly inelastic, relatively inelastic, and unitary elastic. One by one, let's see here. Perfectly elastic demand. What is a perfectly elastic demand? It is a situation in which demand of a commodity continuously changes without any change in price. Perfectly elastic means demand is continuously changing but there is no change in price. So we can say this type of demand is known as perfectly elastic demand. It is a situation in which demand of a commodity, if the demand is continuously changing, means it means increasing or decreasing. It means continuously changing but there is no change in price. So we can say elasticity of price is equal to infinity. Demand curve will be horizontal line to the parallel to x-axis. It is an horizontal line parallel to the x-axis. So we can say perfectly elastic demand means it is in this condition the demand is continuously changes but there is no change in price of the good. So we can say it is a perfectly elastic demand. Demand curve will be, in this case the demand curve will be horizontal line, it's parallel to x-axis. Here the quantity in x-axis and price in y-axis. There is no change in price. Price is pure but quantity demand is continuously changes. So you can say it is an EP is equal to infinity. Next, perfectly inelastic demand. It is a situation in which the price of a commodity does not influence the demand of the commodity. If the price increases or decreases, the demand same. Here, the price is same, the demand changes. Here, reverse. The price, there is a fluctuations in prices, but the demand is constant. Demand curve will be vertical parallel to y-axis. This is vertical, it is horizontal, it is vertical. The concept of perfectly elastic and perfectly inelastic demand do not manifest in real life. These we can't observe in real life. This is just we have to imagine because it is not applicable. We know that what is the rule. If there is any increase in price, there is compulsorily change in demand. But in this case, the price is constant, the demand changes. In this case, the demand is constant, the price changes. These two are not applicable in our real lives. What is perfectly elastic demand, perfectly inelastic demand? What is a perfectly elastic demand? In perfectly elastic demand, there is a continuous changes in demand without any change in price. There is a continuous change in demand without any change in price. So we can say it is a perfectly elastic demand. But in case of perfectly inelastic demand, what it says, the price of a commodity, here the price does not influence the demand. There is no relationship between the price and demand. So these concepts of perfectly elastic and perfectly inelastic of demand do not manifest in the real life. It does not occur in our real lives. It is just assumptions. Next, relatively elastic demand. It is a situation in which the percentage change in demand of a commodity is higher than the percentage change in price. It says it is a situation in which percentage change in demand of a commodity is higher than, when compared to price, the demand is high when the highly changes. Let's see here. Here the quantity demanded Q1 and Q2. Here the prices means there is a small change in price but there is a huge change in quantity demanded. So percentage change in price is highly change in percentage change in quantity demanded. Here the price is small change but there is a quantity is huge change. Here. It is a situation in which the percentage change in demand of a commodity is higher than the percentage change in price. That EP is greater than 1. In this case, there is a small variation in price but there is a huge variation in demand. So we can say it is a highly elastic demand and relatively elastic demand. And next, relatively inelastic demand. It is a situation in which the percentage change in demand of a commodity is less than percentage change in price. Means here there is a small variation in price but there is a huge variation in price but there is a small variation in quantity demand. It is completely opposite. Huge variation in price, small variation in the demanded. Here small variation in price, huge variation in quantity demanded. We can say the curve shape is relatively steeper. You can say it is a steeper curve. What is relatively elastic demand? In which percentage change in demand of a demand is higher than the change in price. Here demand is higher when compared to the price but here price is higher when compared to the demand. It is a situation in which the percentage change in demand of a commodity demand is less than when compared to the percentage change in price. So the curve is known as relatively steeper curve. Next, unit elasticity of demand. It is a situation in which the percentage change in demand of a commodity is equal to the percentage change in price. Means here when the price increases from 1 to 2, the demand also decreases from 1 to 2. So we can say there is a unit elasticity. It is a situation in which percentage change in quantity demanded of a commodity is equal to the percentage change in price. What is it? It is a situation in which percentage change in demand of a commodity. Here the percentage change in demand of a commodity is equal to the percentage change in price. Means if that price is increases from 1 rupee to 2 rupees and demand is decreases from 1 to 2 to 1. So you can say there is a constant. It means how much increases the demand also same way decreases. So you can say it is a unitary elasticity of demand. Next, what are the factors influencing the price elasticity of demand? What are the factors affecting for the price elasticity of demand? Nature of commodity depends upon our commodity and availability of substitute. For example, if there is one of our product, is there any substitutes or not? It is also one of the factor. And number of uses, it may be used for multiple purpose. Already we discussed these all points. Durability of commodity means how many days some goods are durable, some goods are perishable, means which can be spoiled very less time. And consumers income, these are all the factors influencing the price elasticity of demand. What are the factors? Nature of commodity, availability of substitutes, number of uses, durability of commodity, and consumers income. In practical significance of price elasticity of demand is very important in case of business, important in government for taking decisions. The government and also business, these are practically it's very helpful. First, what is the price elasticity of demand? If there is any change in price, further change in price, the quantity demanded may changes. We can say it is a price elasticity of demand. In this price elasticity of demand, there are 5 types. That is perfectly elastic demand, perfectly inelastic demand, relatively elastic demand, relatively inelastic demand, and unitary elasticity of demand. What is the perfectly elastic demand? It is a situation in which demand of a commodity, demand is continuously changes without change in price. So we can say EP, elasticity of price is infinity. We can say it is a perfectly elastic of demand. Perfectly inelastic demand. It is a situation in which the price of a commodity, price does not influence the demand of a commodity. Price does not influence the demand. It does not influence any demand. So we can say it is a perfectly inelastic. Here the curve is horizontal line to x-axis, and here the curve is parallel to the y-axis. If there is no change in price, it continuously change in demand. If there is a change in price but there is no change in demand, demand. These two concepts, the concept of perfectly elastic and perfectly inelastic demand, does not apply in our real life. These two concepts, perfectly elastic demand and perfectly inelastic demand, these two concepts do not apply in our real life. It is completely horizontal to the x-axis. It is parallel to the x-axis. Next, relatively elastic demand. It is a situation in which the percentage change in quantity demanded, here the percentage change in quantity demanded is higher than the percentage change in price. Here the percentage change in the quantity demanded is higher than, when compared to the quantity demand, compared to the price, quantity demand is higher. Means here P1 is increases to P2, but there is a huge change in demand. When compared to the price, there is a huge change in demand. So we can say price elasticity of demand. It is EP, elasticity of price is greater than 1 in this case. Next, relatively inelastic demand. It is a situation in which percentage change in demand of a commodity is less than when compared to the price. It is less than, quantity demanded is less than, it is less than 1. We can say it is a relatively steeper curve. Which curve is known as relatively steeper? It is a relatively inelastic curve is known as relatively steeper curve. And next, unitary elasticity of demand. It is a situation in which the percentage change in demand of a commodity, there is any percentage change in demand of a commodity is equal to the percentage change in price. So we can say there is an unitary elasticity. If there is any 1 unit increase in price, there is same 1 unit decrease in quantity demand. So we can say there is an unitary elasticity of demand. And next, what are the factors influencing price elasticity of demand? Nature of the commodity, availability of substitutes, number of uses, durability, consumers' income. These are all the factors influencing the price elasticity of demand. And practical significance of price, elasticity of demand, importance of business, important in government. The price elasticity of demand is mainly used in the government and also business. These are overall overview about the price elasticity of demand. I hope you understand this lecture. If you have any doubts regarding this lecture, please let me know. I definitely clarify your doubts.